Bobby here. Check it out. Got an Ibanez RG560. Before I get into this guitar, I just want to give a couple of channel updates. As you can see, I kind of switched the room around a bit. Got a rack for the guitars. Also, I'm up to 1,300 subscribers, actually over 1,300 subscribers right now. So I want to say thank you to everybody who watches the videos, everybody who subscribes. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe below, please. Also want to say thank you to Steve from Boston. He's always helping me out, whether it's setting up all the sounds for my THU, or configuring everything correctly for my computer and my interface. And actually, I got a new camera, so the videos will look a little bit better, and you can see the beauty of some of these guitars. And actually, Steve set up the camera for me, so thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. And also, want to say thank you to Jeff English. Sent me this little mini Frankenstein as a gift, which is kind of cool. So thank you. So I just want to talk about the RG560. These came out in 1988. I think originally some of the models came out at the end of 87. And you can tell the difference because on the 87 RGs, 560s, they had a sticker on the back that had the serial number, all that information. And then once it got to 88, it was stamped in ink. And this one is actually stamped, but it kind of wore out in the back. They made the 560s from 88 to 92. I think that first year, at least in 88, the two colors that I had seen were the Violet Pearl, which is this, and then the Lipstick Red. And they came with rosewood fretboards. I'll get into the neck in a minute. And then in 89, I think they started having some other colors, like a white, a Keratin orange. They had like a really cool blue. I can't think of the name of the blue, but it looked really great. And then as they got into 1990 and down the road, they had like a grape ice. And actually, I had a grape ice a long time ago, an RG560 grape ice. And it was probably one of the best deals I ever got. And I probably got the guitar with a case, delivered and tax included, like for under $350. I kicked myself for selling it. It was just another guitar came up that I really wanted, and I figured, well, I can sell this for double the price, and that'll kind of pay for half of that guitar. And you know how anything else, you have some guitars, you sit on them for a while, you thin out the herd, or you get rid of one to get another. But I regret getting rid of that, but this one is going to be a keeper no matter what. I've actually had this for a long time too. One of the great things about these guitars, they were just stripped down models. Actually, the 560 and the 550 were stripped down models, if you want to call it, of the Ibanez Gem. That was a Steve Vai's signature guitar. And they took a lot of the innovations that he had in his guitar and kind of put them towards here. This was the first time I had seen, the underneath the Floyd Rose being dug out or recessed. So you could do all kinds of tricks with. And it just won't go out of tune. The thing stays in tune great. It's an Ibanez Edge. This is black. I think the gems came with, I think it was smoked chrome, was kind of a black, shiny silverish. It's hard to explain. If I can get a picture up, I'll put it up. Basswood body. Ibanez pickups. This is a Ibanez V2 and Ibanez S1 for the two coils. One of the things that they had done. Oh, I want to talk about the Edge real quick. One more thing. What's cool about this was back in those days with the regular Floyd Roses, you put the Floyd in, you'd screw it, and then you had to tighten a nut with a wrench. So if you wanted it to be loose or just to be stiff and stay in one place, you'd have to have a wrench to adjust it. But with these, you can put them in, and you can have it kind of like stiff like this, or you could pull them up a little, and they could be a little bit looser. And these were great because you could adjust the height and how you wanted your tremolo arm to be. Like some like it like this, then some like it a little further down. So it was just great. Volume and a tone. 5-way selector. And one of the things that they took from the Gem, even though this is a humbucker single on the RG550s, which were humbucker single humbucker, it was a kind of a new design by Steve Vai to kind of split some of the coils in the humbucker. So first position, you got your regular humbucker, your bridge. You put in second position, it splits the humbucker, so this coil, the inner coil, and the middle are together. So it kind of give a different sound. Then you got your middle. And then your fourth position is the middle and the neck. So. Now, in the fourth position on the Gem or the 550, it would kind of do the similar process on the humbucker and the second position. You put it in the fourth position, it would take your humbucker, split it, and that inner coil would be together with the middle. And then here, we put in the fifth position for the neck. And so let's just check out some clean sounds. So this is the humbucker and the bridge. Now we're going to put in the second position. Like I said, it's going to split the humbucker. So the inner coil is going to go with the middle coil. It sounds really nice. Now we're going to go to the middle. That sounds even better. And I'm playing through, it's just a pretty clean, no effects. And now we go to the fourth position. And like I said, that's going to be the middle and the neck. If we were playing a 550 or a Gem, it obviously would split that humbucker at the neck with the coil, and then it would go to the middle. Now this is just fourth position. And this is a wizard neck. They came with rosewood. I believe some of the RG560 models that were just for the Japanese market had a violet pearl and an orange, and I think they came with maple fretboards. Which is unfortunate because I think this would have looked great to have when they used the maple. But this is rosewood. It's actually, this one is a very dark rosewood. Looks almost like ebony. I don't know if you can see it in the pictures here. 24 jumbo frets. And at that time, I don't think anybody else is doing 24 frets. And it has a wizard neck. It's super thin. Probably one of the thinnest necks ever made. I mean, I think that maybe after 92 or 93 is probably when they stopped doing the wizard necks, because I think they were too thin and there were just too many problems with them, breaking. I know the biggest problem people had were behind the nut, where the screw, where you lock in the nut, it screws in from the back. So there's two holes, and I think it was just so thin that if people kind of hit really hard, somehow they would crack them a little. So moving forward, I know now all the nuts are screwed into the top, and I think a little more wood is put in the back on the lute, like on the blue floral Ibanez Gem. And actually, even the Genesis RG550 models, the 30th anniversaries, they put a little more wood in the back to make it a little more stable. And even those necks are not as thin as these. This was just such a thin neck, but it feels great. And I think the great thing about it is, even though it's super thin, it's not wide. I think it's an R2 nut. So it's just really comfortable. I know a lot of people don't like thin necks, but it's just really comfortable. I have an 87 RG which is supposedly violet pearl, but it's it's a weird. It doesn't look exactly like this. I'll get a video of it down the road. I can just throw a picture up so you can see where it looks like more like an olive color almost. But even though there's a little violet to it, but that neck is literally the thinnest neck I've ever played in my life. I got it used a long time ago, but I'm not sure if the person had shaved it down. But I mean, it's so thin that I even thought about scalping that fretboard, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't because maybe the whole neck will collapse into itself. But these are great. Love the way the headstock looks. It's tilted back. And these came with Godo tuning pegs. And, you know, just a really solid guitar. It was a game changer at that time for the guitars. And really, this was the rise of Ibanez, along with Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, had all these great players, and then it kind of kicked Kramer off the top of the hill, and then Ibanez just became a super huge brand as they moved forward. So, any questions? Leave some comments below. I can't think of anything. Oh, like I said, we're up to 1,300 subscribers. Thank you, everybody. I love doing the videos. I love doing the interaction with everybody. Any questions? Leave comments below, and thanks, and see you soon.